Hello, geometry students. Have you ever taken a math course and wondered how will I ever use the skills I learned here? Well, I'm here to tell you how you're going to use the skills you learned in geometry, one of the most practical math courses that you'll ever take. First of all, any course, especially a math course, teaches a lot of great life skills. Number one, math is hard. It's hard for everybody. If anybody tells you that math isn't hard, it's because they've already learned the skills and the content. Once you understand something, of course it feels easy, but it's hard for everybody in the beginning. Math is like a foreign language. Once you learn and practice math, just like anything else, it will become easy and even fun. So keep trying. You're going to use these tools to solve really practical problems. Feeling that you can approach a situation, that you know you have the skills and tools to figure something out, like just calculating what you're going to spend at the grocery store, or figuring out how much paint you need to paint your room, or any type of problem pulling out into traffic. You can make those estimations, predict the future, understand the past better with these types of tools. Also, there's a ton of technical vocabulary that is communicated in our real world, looking at data analysis, looking at political statements based on percentages and things that are happening in the world. Those things need to be interpreted by somebody to tell whether they're true or accurate, or to be able to use that information in the future when it comes to decision making. So tons of life skills are based on the types of things you'll be learning in this course. But that's not all. In geometry in particular, world knowledge consists of understanding nature and those laws of nature. Have you ever wondered how the moon stays in orbit around our planet or other planets, or how we find other planets and other moons? How an orbiter can dock with a space station so far away that takes so long to get there? How fish or birds know where to migrate? How a mountain's range steepness ended up how it did? Or how we know where an earthquake began? All of those things take geometry laws, which are an interpretation how we work with nature's laws to determine those trajectories, coordinating time and motion, using angles and areas and vibration. All of those are skills that you learn in geometry. They'll help you to understand what has happened to our world in the past and what will happen in the future. Practical skills are what geometry is all about. I don't know if you're a do-it-yourselfer or you just like watching somebody else work or figuring something out, but when you look at a design of a building, that started out by an engineer in a geometry class learning about angles and area and weight and all of the things that go into it. It's great to know when you're building buildings, designing electrical wiring or plumbing or sewing a quilt, tiling a bathroom, and even painting a room all require these skills that you'll be learning in this course. If you want a job done right, or you want to know where to get started, then you will use the skills that you learned from this course. Also, answering questions. Why does something happen? How would you adjust a recipe for a crowd? How would you diagnose the use of the cause of your headaches? You go into the doctor and he says, oh, I think I'll do an MRI. Well, how do they take those slices of your brain and interpret them? That's all part of measurements that are learned in geometry. What about building a skateboard ramp? How do you balance gravity with the angle? How do you build a kite that soars high? How do you build the Eiffel Tower with Legos? How do you figure out how you're going to see around a corner in your video game? Whoever developed that game, whoever developed those Legos and put the instructions together was using what they learned in geometry to solve those practical problems. So, welcome to geometry. I hope that you enjoy the skills that you learn here, that they will become practical skills that you can use for the rest of your life.